Hello everybody! Welcome to what is probably the biggest set of balance changes we've had in a while. Just want to make sure things are working. Yes, they are. So, a lot of things have changed. I don't feel like pulling up my browser to scroll through the list, so I will just read off the ones that are relevant to us at this exact moment. Ugh, gassy. Renown now has a 22-second reload. The shell ballistics have been improved so that they become flatter. We now have 16.3 kilometer range instead of 15.8. If we were to research the range upgrade, we would go up to 17.9. Our turret traverse has been reduced from 45 seconds to 30. I want to note, before we even get anywhere into this, also my webcam is not in the right spot. It just occurred to me I need to move it. Well, I may not need to. That might actually be a decent spot for it. No, I'll be blocking some relevant information. Hold on. I moved it for PokeRogue. But I do have, like, the location it should be saved. So, give me a moment. Just go to, do some live position changing. This needs to be right there. So that's basically all that changed. There we go. But yeah, before we go much further, let's come in here. British Battleship Tier 7. Or not 7, 6. We got Repulse here. I don't understand the purpose of this ship anymore. Because it now has a 3-second longer reload with, albeit the 30-second turret traverse, but it has a longer reload, no torpedoes. Wargaming. This is feeling like a tier 5 now by comparison. Not sure I'm liking that very much, but hey, they can do them. It's now a new day. I'd already done up my daily missions for yesterday, I think. Apparently not. I thought I did them up. I was playing yesterday. That's where these came from. I don't understand. I got this on my main account too, even though I'm positive I played yesterday. Oh well. Let's claim these. Just while we're in here, we got a lot of stuff to claim. I'll get to the other primary thing that matters to us in a brief moment. Just want to get all this stuff out of the way. Okay, the other thing that matters is this ship that we're almost done with. It now deals 3,200 damage instead of 3,000. Woo. I don't see this mattering. The combat instruction has also changed. But also not in a way I can see mattering. It's now 80% instead of 75%. I can't see this mattering to us at all. That's not the part that was annoying about it. The part that's annoying is the time to lose progress is 15 seconds. That's the annoying part. And you lose basically because of how it works. Well, each shell, let's just round that to 3%. So 5 shells hitting is 15%. So you basically lose 5 shells worth of progress after 15 seconds. And you more or less lose all of it after that time because it drains so quickly. But hey, it might make this thing a bit more bearable to play. One of the lines we have started down, actually I think 2 of the lines we've started down are also better at, well, 3 of the lines actually. So we'll start with this one. This thing now has a 3.3 second reload instead of 3.8. That'll probably matter. That's a decent reload buff. Its torpedo reload time is now also 60 seconds instead of 68 seconds. That will probably matter from time to time. Jinan here has gotten a buff to its HP up from 30,700 to 32,500. The main battery's high explosive shells have gained an extra 100 damage and 2% fire chance. So basically, you're now at stock what you could get before maximum, just about. It used to go up to 11.5, I think it was. Now you can get up to... Well, no, it was 12.5 with the full commander build. And now you can get up to 13.5. Or not 13. Was it? Was it actually 11.5? I don't remember. It's been so long since I played Jinan. The torpedo damage was also increased from 17,900 to 18,800. Like, it's just kind of ridiculous. There is also, let's see, is there any of the other changes here that matter to us? Nope, no there aren't. Okay. But there is so many changes. And for my main, almost all of them matter. Like, this is a really big set of balance changes. And I gotta say, I'm quite happy that Wargaming did that. Like, that's a lot of balance changes. That's gonna make a lot of ships more bearable. Some of them, like this thing, aren't gonna change much at all, but I guess that's Wargaming saying, hey, this thing's fine. I disagree, but hey... There is also a new type of operation running. I'm gonna stick with asymmetrics for now. Actually, no. Let's try some ops with flagships, because this current one is fires, and I can start fires. It's about all I can do. So let's do an op with flagships. Wait, actually, before I do this, I should claim my free day of premium time. Yay! You can always claim one of those from the news posts. And yeah, I was in yesterday, or else this would be available. I don't understand what Wargaming's doing there. It don't make sense, but you know, I'm not gonna complain. Also, I should, because we do have some, I should pop open our last 8 Santa gift containers. See what we might have in these. If anything. Probably nothing, but we might have something. There is always a chance. Everything feels wrong in this port. Like, everything's just too bright. Might change ports. 500 doubloons. I will take it. More economic boosters. Always got to take those. Come on. Can I get one more ship out of this event? Usually I get like 3. This year I've gotten 1 per account. My luck was definitely not very good this year. 30 days of premium time. Okay. More coal, and final Santa container. I think we'll have 1 more of the year, but no ship. More flags. And alright. I mean, I'll definitely take the premium time. That's going to be quite the boon for us. I would have liked having another premium of any kind, really, but we are back up to 29,000 coal, which does mean we were... There was one of these collections I had started working on. Oh yeah, it was shipbuilding. To try to get the Santa's big gift. How many? We need 9. So, let's... Purely because we do have quite a ways to go. Let's buy 10. We have quite a ways to go before we get to our next coupon for a coal ship, so I'm not that worried about spending coal like this. Okay, we just got another day of premium time. We have 3, we need 4. So at this point, because we're 2 off of the duplicates we need, at this point, it just becomes a math equation. If we buy 2 shipbuilding containers, we will get the 1 duplicate we need, and if we get what we need, it won't matter. So, that'll finish this collection. We now have the last 4 things we need. Get a riveter, a crane operator. We commissioned a ship. And we get a dual 127 mount. Bam. And now we have another container to open. And this is an old container, too. This isn't the new ones. No ship. Economic boosters, though. And there is also still some recommended news. Talk about discounts and stuff. They got this going on. Which is an event. That being, where even is it? That being... Wait, is it not here anymore? Okay, I guess that part of this is already over. It was for part of this. It's how you got the other coupons, unless you need to be in the exact part of the armory for this. No, I think they just ended it already. I mean, champagne was part of it. What am I expecting? Champagne is never for sale for long. Ever. But, yeah, there is the early access to the Dutch cruisers. I could pick up the camo. I have no interest in picking up the camo. It would have been nice to have gotten one of the ships instead of the camo as this. I would have probably put the 1,000 doubloons I need into it to get it, but I didn't, so I'm not going to. Okay, now, flagships. This first one is the Incendiary Specialist. It accelerates the main battery reload time of ships in the area of its command and increases their chance of setting things on fire. It is also vulnerable to fire. Enemy ships take increased damage from fire when affected by 2 or more fires. You want to be setting them on fire. Basically, we want to fight them with what they are fighting us with. If this takes too long to queue, I will probably just hop to, like, asymmetrics. There's only, like, 2,000 people on the EU server right now. Which is still always a shock to me because I've never seen the NA server go that empty. The EU server gets empty at this time of day. Which you might be wondering why I'm still streaming this at this time of day, but it's just simply because, like, this is the time I stream. And I don't want to give up on this series, but I might have to if I'm honest. Like, once asymmetrics are gone, I don't know what I'll do at this time of day on the EU server. Which is a bit of a bummer, not gonna lie. Because, like, I have been enjoying the series, and I planned on keeping it going until at least November. Not November. Blah. February. Yeah, I'm keeping it going until November. I wanted to keep it going at least until, like, around February when Monster Hunter Wilds comes out. But I may not be able to manage that. I might have to find other things to stream in the meantime. I could always default back to Splatoon. I do want to stream more Splatoon, so. Okay. Explosive loaded. I want to be very careful here because this is Cherry Blossom. Which also means this is probably going to be a loss. Like, I have no doubt that this will probably be a loss. It's Cherry Blossom. Basically always is.
Let's give them a hard time. Good luck, everyone.
Okay. There is a flagship. There it is. I should have been shooting at the flagship. That is what I will turn my attention towards. And I missed. And I missed. Crap. Come on, dispersion. Well, I broke something, but I did not set it on fire. I have what for a fire chance? 30%, basically. There's one fire. Once you can get 2 fires lit on a flagship, they just melt. The problem is getting the 2 fires. I'm gonna hydro up. Well, I broke a torpedo launcher on the Harugumo, so I broke its only torpedo launcher. And I'm immediately on fire in 2 places. Okay. Getting my guns turned for the Yoshino. I should just keep the high explosive loaded. I mean, it works. I've still not actually looked into anything about Azuma's AP, but it feels like her AP is just weak. And I don't get it. Okay, that Yoshino's burning. I mean, it's not a flagship, so it burning doesn't really matter, but it's still extra damage. That's a flagship, however. I'm still going to focus in on the Yoshino.
Torpedoes to port.
Really wishing I was in a Yoshino right about now, because that would greatly assist me. Because I could just torpedo at the Clausewitz. Okay. I need to pay attention to the Clausewitz now. It's paying attention to me, and that's a problem. Because it is considerably better than I am.
Ship is on fire.
That was probably jumping the gun a bit.
Problem solved, sir.
Or not. Okay.
Enemy cruiser sunk.
Hello, little Harugumo. There's another flagship nearby. My hydro is not ready.
Enemy destroyer foundered.
Would love to have my hydro about now. but it's not quite back yet. Because I'm really feeling like there's probably a Yamagiri near me. I just can't see it.
Ship is on fire.
Oh boy, triple fire.
Problem solved, sir. Ship is on fire.
Oh boy, triple fire again.
Torpedoes to starboard.
I might be dead here. Because I can't do anything about these fires.
We've sunk an enemy destroyer.
And there is still something in there. Okay. I need to put these out. I know they're almost burnt out, but I don't have the health to spare right now. That's the thing. I really need to get to the midway and get some healing.
Enemy destroyer foundered.
Okay. I will do what I can to assist Bunker Hill. And I mean, I should have the gun range to basically sit at Bunker Hill and still hit the airfields. So I still really also wish they would give this effect as a consumable for a support carrier. Like, what are people's biggest complaints about aircraft carriers? They are fully effective without having to risk the ship. Let's ignore for a moment that destroyers can do that too, and cruisers, if played properly, are not risking their ship. And really, the only class that really is putting themselves at much risk is battleships. But let's put all that aside for the moment. If, you know, there was a carrier with a healing circle that is heavily incentivized to push up with their team, well, suddenly that carrier is now on the front lines being incentivized to push up with their team. Seems like a pretty nice thing to me. And I missed. I fired, and I missed. I fired again, and I missed again. Come on, Azuma. There's no need to miss all the time. I mean, one shell hit may as well be a miss. Gotta really lead that. That Atago is fast. I would honestly love to see the internal stats for that Atago, because I'm positive that's not a normal Atago in armor or speed. The thing just goes way too fast. I mean, the amount I'm having to lead this thing is basically how you would lead a destroyer. Not to go ain't that fast. It's like 32 knots. Okay, who's Montana? I literally haven't moved in forever. Probably should have, but I haven't. How are you bumping me, my man? I'm gonna go back to firing at the Clausewitz. Again, 30% fire chance. Can't help but feel. Super ships have the most built-in fire resistance. My fire chance against him is something like 10%, if that. Well, the Moskva's dead. And I still have yet to light a fire on the Clausewitz. Jesus Christ. I kind of wish I had Jinan, because I might actually stand a chance of lighting a fire with something like a Jinan. Okay, it's on fire. Looks like it's on fire in two places. I'll swap fire to the Azuma.
Torpedoes, direct front.
Montana, where are you going, my guy? He was just behind me, and now he's in front of me. Unless we have two Montanas. No, we do not. And the Clausewitz is still alive. That ain't good. That Clausewitz needs to die. So, I guess I'm putting another salvo towards it. We also need to start dealing damage to airfields. We have taken way too long to start damaging the airfields. Hey, I got a fire finally. I think it immediately put it out, but...
Torpedoes, dead ahead.
Okay, it's finally dead. I think I could fire off my spotter plane and start putting the hurt on the northern aerodrome. I should probably do that. I might have to aim for, like, that part of it. Or not. Okay.
Torpedoes, direct front.
Beauty is, I can probably finish off this airfield. Oh, yeah. My shots in the air should do it, or someone else has got it. Now, I can see this other one, too. I'm just gonna start putting shots into it. People can get mad if they want, but... I'd rather not lose. And it's just some destroyers left, basically. And, I mean, there's almost endlessly spawning enemies. So you could, in theory, if there was no match timer, you could just sit and farm forever. But there's a match timer, so...
Spotter returning to ship.
I don't think I have the range anymore. I'm gonna try. And hey, maybe I'm discovering a new bug. Okay, no, I don't have the range. I do now. Get 'em, boys. Wait, my aim's not going where it should be. Aim. There we go. That's annoying. And I missed. My cursor is literally on the airfield. Well, 12 seconds till I have my spotter. Once I have the spotter, I can safely, easily hit it again, so... Because I can see it now! It's burning. One more salvo will do it. People will probably be mad, but I'd rather win. It is better to win than farm and lose. So... Especially where the longer that went on, the more we risked losing somebody. So yeah, neat little mode. I don't know if I'll play it much, just because, like, I like Azuma, but man, does she feel kind of weak. Not gonna lie. And, like, maybe I'm too used to, Yoshino is the thing. You know, while I'm here, I'm gonna satisfy some curiosity. And I do apologize for the lack of sound for the moment. Dispersion and ballistic charts. Add remove. Azuma. Yoshi. Confirm. Ballistic charts. Oh, right. You need to... Blah. I need to actually tell it what shell to put in. It's the exact same shell, penetration-wise. Flight time, impact velocity. These guns just feel weaker. I don't know. Yoshino apparently has slightly better dispersion. Maybe that's what it is. Hmm. Yeah, Yoshino has slightly better vertical dispersion. God, vertical dispersion's such a weird thing. Wouldn't be so bad if we actually knew how vertical dispersion worked. But we really don't. We have vague ideas. But yeah, let's poke to playing some of these ships. Let's start with Renown. So we need to work on our British ships. We're about halfway through to Rook. I'm actually, mostly because people universally hate the thing, I'm actually kind of looking forward to getting to Duncan. Because people also fairly universally hate Izumo, and I love Izumo. So, feeling like I'm probably gonna like this ship. The thing is, I'm probably gonna like Vincent more, because Vincent is just this, but, without that big, major, glaring weakness. Like, you get that Citadel. The high above water, easy to hit, followed by this, which is not only a waterline Citadel, but it's inboard of the ship. Like, that's... yeah. And there's a lot of armor in the way, including some spaced armor. This is a turtleback as well that will bounce everything except, like, Yamato shells. Like, Vincent is quite the tough cookie to crack. It's a more durable battleship than the Techline British battleship. Which is something I do need to mildly complain about any chance I get. It's never gonna change, but I really wish it would. In real life, and I do have the boosters, so I may as well go blue boosters on basically everything here. In real life, the British built some of the toughest battleships, period. The King George V class of battleship had roughly comparable armor to Yamato. Meanwhile, in-game, it's a tier 7 with paper-thin armor that's incredibly easy to just slap around. And it's like, what? But why? And I don't think there is an answer to why the British battleships are so thinly armored. Other than someone at Wargaming went, haha, hood went boom, let's make them all really weak. Like, most of British battleships exploding and sinking tended to be from bad practices more than bad armor or bad ship construction. Like, a lot of the times the British would just leave doors that were labeled "do not leave open." They just prop them open. And there's reasons these doors were not to be left open. It didn't stop them from leaving them open. Like, man, I can already feel that turret traverse. That's so nice. "45 seconds was probably a bit long, but I'm also pretty sure that was the realistic turret traverse on Renown and Repulse. But whatever. Game balance should trump realism. Well, I couldn't quite eat the entire squadron. Just ate most of it. Not really feeling the shell arc change. They're not, I suppose they're not quite as floaty as they used to be, but travel times are still pretty much what I expect. I should also probably swap to the HE, because there's a lot of really thinly armored ships here. I say that as that happens, but thank you, Jervis. I will do my best to make sure you don't die, my little friend. get a little spread of torpedoes going that way. I realize I am sitting broadside to a Britannia, which isn't exactly ideal. But it's fine.
Anti-aircraft gun crews are on full alert.
Yeah, I think the Langley's gonna get strike down. Which I know there are people who would very much disagree with me on this, but this is how AA should work. The carrier should be able to get a strike away. Quite honestly, I am in the camp of if you do not believe the aircraft carrier should be allowed to get a strike away, then you're not asking for the game to be balanced. You're asking for an unfair advantage. And before anyone might say it, carriers don't have an unfair advantage. If you actually looked at how little damage an airstrike deals compared to its rough equivalent, like that Langley's rocket squadron is outdamaged by most tier 4 destroyers per salvo. Like, it is not a good... It's not a good time playing aircraft carriers. Slav, that's 4-kilometer torps. I am well outside of that. Ow. Not angled enough anymore. Mildly impressed to see the guys stayed in the north and did not just die. Yeah, I don't think I really need this last defensive fire yet. Not really that afraid of Langley dive bombers. I mean, they're definitely not a weak squadron, but they don't really have health. That's the thing. Okay, I was going to try and ping for the destroyer where the carrier probably is, because it seems like that's where he's going, but it was the Ichislav coming out. Even though it really did not want to be coming out. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, I might eat some Russian torpedoes here. Or not.
Torpedoes to starboard.
It nearly ate some of my torpedoes.
Enemy destroyer sunk.
Doubt those are going to hit the New York, but it's always worth trying. Probably should have led them a little more. Maybe hung on to them. Yeah, I should have hung on to them for a little bit. Other side's almost back up, though. You can definitely feel the faster reload. Go, Wiggle Torps. These things having torpedoes is just silly. Like, there was no real need, but... Because there's a lot of ships that have self-defense that had, realistically, self-defense torpedoes. But we're just never given them in-game, because there's no need. And then with the British battlecruisers, they were like, so hey, what if we just made that part of their gimmick, is they can use their self-defense torpedoes? You know, which I believe are those two tubes and these two tubes. On some of them, they are under the water. So I feel like part of it was in the past, they just didn't know exactly how to implement self-defense torpedoes before the British battlecruisers came along. And then they were like, what if we just made them not work the way they should? Like, what if we just made them wiggle and then go to where they're supposed to? Result? Pretty nice torpedoes. Okay. We may as well take this thing out for a run as well. I do have the boosters, so let's use them. Even with the extra damage, this thing's still going to be ass. Though I say that every time I go to play it, but watch, I'll come out of this with like 120, 130,000 damage. Like, I always complain about these cruisers, yet I always do relatively well with them. And as I've mentioned before, that's not really a testament to the cruiser being good. That's a testament to me being good at piloting cruisers. I mean, light cruisers are probably my favorite class of ship in the game. So, it makes sense I'd be able to play them decently well. Which also has me pretty excited for these Dutch light cruisers. And seeing I'll be able to get the tier 8 for free on here, I think that's being added to my list of ships to play through. Honestly, kind of considering more or less dumping this line the moment I get that and just never touching it again. Because I'll have a light cruiser line, I won't need this one anymore. I'll have a better light cruiser line. Because, like, sure, on paper, these cruisers have more DPM than the Dutch light cruisers will. On paper. On paper, Minotaur should kill any ship it points its guns at in, like, 20 seconds. On paper DPM does not mean applied DPM. There's a lot of destroyers with scary high DPM, but pitifully small guns. That leads to them not really being very effective at actually applying their DPM. Think like the HE DPM on like a Daring. It's pretty high HE DPM. It'll never apply that DPM, but it has it. Think of the DPM of Helena. Helena has pretty high DPM, especially for its tier. It'll never get to apply that DPM, though, because it's a tier 7. The most it can ever hope to do is pen 31mm, which is not enough. And even then, your applied DPM changes depending on what you're shooting at. You know, Bolognese here might be pretty alright at applying its DPM to a broadside cruiser, You shove a broadside, say, Russian battleship in front of it, and you're shattering every shot. Like... Meanwhile, these, these Dutch light cruisers will be able to just move where they're shooting and start penning the bow and stern. There's not much health in the bow and stern of a ship, but there's some there. It's something. And hey, I'm with a Sharn, and he appears to know what a W key is. The New Mexico and Fuso, on the other hand, that's yet to be seen. I think they more know what their DNA keys are. Go, little buddy. Doing my best here. There we go. Again, this thing can apply damage to a broadside ship. The problem is a lot of things can apply damage to broadside ships. It's not special in that regard.
Torpedoes, direct front.
Oh boy, my useless funny button's ready. That Britannia's turning to shoot at me, I think. But like, or no, okay. But like, here's just one of the many problems with these ships. And I know I've talked about this ad nauseum. Like, I know I've gone over this a lot. But like, just the shatters. The shatters hitting upper belt and superstructure area. Like... that should be where I'm able to deal damage. But I cannot. Ooh, I'm lagging. Ooh, I might disconnect. Come on, game. You can do it. My internet has been crap today. I mean, as long as that Sharn doesn't die, I'm fine. Come on, internet, hold it together. The funny thing is the stream is going just fine. It's just my connection to the EU server. Oh yeah, I've really desynced. That ping. Wouldn't be so bad if it would just keep me updated. I could account for the ping. I'm still hitting, though, apparently. Come on. You can do it, Wargaming. You can connect me. You can connect me properly. Usually my ping is nowhere near this bad. Come on. Come on, you can do it. I say knowing full well I was disconnecting while playing Azure Lane earlier. Like... come on. Come on, you can do it. I'm getting brief moments of decent ping. Very brief moments of decent ping. Oh, is it sorting its... no. Come on. Come on, you can do it. Game's trying its best here. I think. I can't be sure the game's trying its best. Plot twist, a belligerent country is just attacking the internet lines right now. And that's what's going on. Okay, my ping's kind of back to normal. Kinda. It's in like the 40 to 100 range I'm used to from this. Which, while could be better, isn't the worst. Like, I have been online gaming more than long enough. I remember when this was just the default ping. You know? Like, this was just the best that you were gonna get off of, you know, your high-speed dial-up. Well, let's try to torpedo the Tiger. Okay, the Sharn 43 is getting him first. It's nice to see a Sharn 43 that understands how to play the game. That is nice to see. Not used to seeing that, if I'm honest. Yeah, this increase of damage is mattering so much, the way I basically can't pen things anyway. It's not the damage these shells were lacking, it's pen angles and penetration. Like... if these weren't just slightly improved light cruiser shells for penetration, I don't think I would mind it very much that, you know, they don't have pen angles. Like, if this was heavy cruiser levels of pen on the AP, I could handle that. I would be content with that. That's not so bad. The fact that this is basically slightly improved light cruiser pen with only, I think, slightly improved pen angles, but nowhere near as good as the British. That's where the problems come in. And like, again, I know I've been kind of crapping on this thing. And even though my connection issues, I still have, like, 74,000 damage. And will almost certainly have more by the time this battle is over. I'm having some derp flung at me, I think. Or is that being shot at the Fuso? No, that was meant for me. Stop flinging your derp at me. And I can hear thousands of Germans getting very angry with me. As if you guys probably don't also make fun of English words and names. It's normal, it's allowed. Target acquired. Watch me bounce off of the emerald. Yeah, I did have one bounce. I did hit him in a bad spot. But... yeah, I'm gonna play that safe. I should also fire off my heal. Okay. 100,000 damage. It's still a bad ship. Like, that does not change anything. Like, I am not one of these people who will do well in a bad ship and go, see, it's good. Like, no. No, it's still bad. I just know what I'm doing. That's the thing. I know what I'm doing in a light cruiser, so it kind of works out. The problem, and this is just occurring to me, this has now become substantially weaker because of this getting buffed. Because 3,200 damage over 6.5, this is 34 over 7 with one less barrel. I'm pretty sure before, the one less barrel didn't matter. Let me... 9 times 3,000, or... That was 34 times 8. Yeah, before the damage was ever so slightly higher. It was 27,000 per salvo off of Bolognese, 27,200 off of Allende. Allende still has a slower reload, but at the very least your alpha strike was still higher. Now it's not. So now Bolognese's better in every way, except it doesn't have a radar. Really feel like they missed something here. I also love how this stat just doesn't matter. Like, in what way wargaming is... I mean, turret traverse? I guess turret traverse matters a lot for the artillery stat. Because the reload range are basically the same. The damage is not that different anymore. The reload is faster. There's more gun. This is why you ignore these numbers and look at these numbers instead. You don't care about these little ones over here. Like the 48 artillery, that doesn't mean anything. I mean, DPM-wise, I think at this point Bolognese is better than Santander. What are they even doing with this line? I mean, like, the problem is, like, there's... It's not even like they have great AA. Like, it's typical American-style AA that's really focused in the short range. I mean, I suppose that's kind of got some mid-range to it, but... I don't get it, man. San Martin has a decent... Compared to the others, a decent rate of fire. My main problem with San Martin is this is 6, 8, 10 guns at a 6-second reload. Firing AP only. With a 6-second reload. This is 10 guns, AP only, same range, double the reload. Wargaming. Like, that's my problem this entire way. It's like, this is 12 guns at a 4.8 second reload. Neptune is stronger than basically every Pan American light cruiser. Edinburgh is 12 at 7.7. That is considerably better than the, where is it here? Allende, which is 8 guns at 7 seconds. Like, and these can have smoke, or they can take radar. They have choices. And this is a better radar with a normal cooldown. They don't need no gimmick. And this is an 80-second cooldown on the heal, which is, funnily enough, about the same as what you get when using the funny button. Like, I think it's closer to like 70 seconds, but it's not that different. Like, I don't understand the point of the Pan American lights. Like, Neptune can also take a radar. That's also better. Minotaur has an immensely better radar. I'm not understanding. And I know I'm going to hate this line even more the moment I get into the tier 8. Because I'm going to be downgrading my ship, basically. As much as the game's trying to tell you it's better. The funny thing is, again, with the numbers on stuff, the airstrike. This is 2 bombs, well, 2 planes, dropping 1 bomb each for 3,400. This is 2 flights of 1 plane, dropping 2 bombs at 4,200. This is apparently worse than this. And if that doesn't tell you why you need to just ignore those numbers of, oh, 55 airstrike, I don't know what would. I mean, I suppose 25-second reload. What's the reload on these? 30? 5-second longer reload is not going to equate to, what is that, like 4? Jeez. It's like 5 times the rating. It's dumb. Okay, do I have any other ships here that recently got buffed? No, I don't. So I'm fairly free to play anything now. I could go back to Renown. Renown feels really nice with its changes. I'm not feeling Bolognese at all. I'm not feeling the extra 200 damage. I'm just not. And like, I don't want to be that guy to always complain about these cruisers, but like, Jesus. What they could have been. What they could have been. I know I've mentioned this so many times. These used to have high explosive. These also used to have as their funny button this. Just think, Jacksonville is an amazingly powerful cruiser. This was going to be the Pan American gimmick. Also, I want to note, this ship with 15 guns, higher muzzle velocity, faster reload, takes 30 seconds before it starts losing its objectively better funny button. This is still the 15 seconds at a... I think that might actually be the same muzzle velocity, but a slower reload on fewer guns on its objectively worse funny button. You know what? I'm gonna stick with the Pan American. Let's go with this little piece of crap. Why not? I love that asymmetrics are still around. It's going to make grinding through these a lot more bearable. Even though asymmetrics aren't exactly the best place for it. There are 4 ships in this battle I know I can deal damage to. And no cover. And a Massachusetts over here. So if there is a cruiser over here, it's going to just get blapped by the Massachusetts. I'm just going to try and push basically straight forward to that island. No turning, just W key. That'll get me in a pretty decent position to do stuff from there. I'd already be at max speed if I was in a British light. If I was in Fiji, I'd be at max speed already. Which is another thing to note. Fiji is like, I think 8.5 second reload at this point, but has 12 guns.
Awaiting instructions.
With better pen angles. I don't understand the balance of this line. I just really don't. And their general performance across across the tiers, across the servers, really shows all of these Pan American lights need love. And I have an easy solution for wargaming to make these cruisers better. I don't know if this would make them viable, but they would be better. Just give them their high explosive back. Like, they all had it at one point. You have all the data still there. Just give them their high explosive back. That would make them better. I don't know if it would make, say, Bolognese amazing. It would put it on par with the new Commonwealth cruiser. It's just the same ship, just with high explosive in the guns and a smoke screen. So at least gunpower-wise, they'd be the same. Which would be something. I don't know which side I'm spotted from, but I'm pretty sure it'll be this side. Yeah. Another thing would be shorten the fuses on the AP. Like, this is ridiculous. The fact that I have to make use of basically overmatch to get my shells to deal damage to the Visby. Not so much overmatch as it is just simply pens, but... yeah, that cruiser's already dead. Now it's time for shatters. Shatters and ricochets. Hey, little buddy, I didn't even see you over there. I'll shoot at you. Ow. I get it, Andrea Diora. I should be paying attention to you, but I can't hurt you. I can barely hurt this cruiser. Which I also know is a thing of, like, I know there'd probably be someone out there who'd be like, but the Pan American lights have destroyer dispersion. It's like, and that's not that different from cruiser dispersion. It really isn't. On average, you're looking at a couple meters better dispersion. It's really not that much better. Standard cruiser dispersion is not bad. Sorry, Mogami. Ow. I think that was a cross map. And I know there'd be the thing of like, well, you know, I'm about to pop my funny button to get my heal back a bit faster. And, you know, a British light cruiser can't do that. You're right. British light cruiser wouldn't have taken the shot to require me needing to pop the funny button to get back to my heal as soon as possible. That's the thing. Like, I would have just been in a smokescreen. Let's see, how much of a difference does that make? Okay, it puts the heal on a 50-second cooldown. Why not just give the heal a 50-second cooldown? Remove the funny button. Like... This gimmick is just unnecessary. And I'm not even gonna get to charge it again, am I? Maybe some of those shots will catch the Andrea. No, there it goes. And it's gone. I mean, like, sure, you can argue it's a powerful thing to have a super heal at such a low tier. But, like, at the same time, you've given up a lot more than you should have to give up to get the super heal. And you are still just a cruiser. Being tier 7, as Bolognese is, everything overmatches you. Pretty sure they pick up the super heal at tier 6 or 5. Either way, everything still overmatches you. And these aren't amazing at healing Citadel damage. These aren't British super heals. There goes my funny button again. Because I can't shoot those. And there it goes. Like, I don't want to just complain about these cruisers. I'm more just complaining about them for my own sanity more than anything else. Just need to refresh my graphics driver really quick. There we go. Now everything's back to the way it should be. I know there's no impact to the stream for you guys, but it annoys me to look over and see my audio bars jittering around.
Our victory is in sight.
Do I even bother? It's gonna be dead before I can deal any damage to it. Oh no, a whole 1,600 damage. And it's angling to me. The scary Pan-American light cruiser. Just trying to avoid hitting its deck, because I'm pretty sure I'll bounce off of the deck. There it goes. And again, like, 71,000 damage isn't the worst. Second on the team, like, the secondary battleship carried. It's what they do in these modes. But, hey, I can claim my daily thingy. Yay, more Elite Commander XP. Yeah, what's in here? Eh, junk. I still don't know why I have this. I played yesterday. I completed those missions yesterday. I mean, I'll take the double progress. Like, I know part of the problem is I'm trying to understand wargaming balance decisions. That's part of the problem here. Like, I'm trying to understand the mind of wargaming developers. And it's just not happening. Guessing the server's still empty. Yeah, because I kind of want to play randoms, but... So I'll get more silver out of randoms. I can just, like, Azuma, though. Get silver that way. Blue credit booster Azuma runs. Because this run will probably get me the XP I need to get into the tier 8. Which, again, maybe having a radar will make everything magically better. It's not going to. It's not going to matter. It's a 9-kilometer radar. That's not going to matter. I say this definitively as somebody who has played through the Cleveland line. That's not gonna matter. 9-kilometer radars are bordering on too short of range for this day and age. I'm sure back when, you know, Worcester got nerfed down to, or Worcester. It's spelled Worcester. When Worcester got nerfed down to 9-kilometer radar range, I'm sure back in those days, yeah, might have been too much to have that ship with a 10-kilometer and the 9 was probably fine. But that was in the days of, you know, 8 to 12 kilometers being the rough what to expect out of even tier 10 destroyers. These days, 13.5 is roughly what you should expect, at minimum. Like, most tier 9, 10 destroyers can safely play from outside of even Russian radar range. Like, there's nothing stopping a Holland from playing outside of it. Mass, please, I'm trying to get more central. If you want to rush forward and die, that's on you, my guy. So, I can't tell if those are the 127s or 150s. And I can't tell this way either. Not 127s, 128s. They're Germans. They gotta be slightly different. Yeah, I definitely need to get more central because there's going to be some destroyers rushing up the middle. And the Zeton and Hipper are conga lining down the side. For some reason. At least the Lazo knows what it's doing. And, like, I'm a proponent of more ships having radar. So, like, the fact that these cruisers have radar is nice, don't get me wrong. I just wish it was a radar that mattered. You know, if they're gonna go with 9-kilometer, maybe give it, I don't know. Oh, that Ismail's gonna nuke me, isn't it? Just trying to keep maneuvering. Like, if they're gonna go with the 9 kilometers, maybe give it, like, a 50-second duration and a faster than normal cooldown and remove the stupid gimmick. I should hydro up. Yeah. Figured there was some Fubuki torps around. I didn't want to preemptively move my guns to the Navy because I honestly was not sure if that was going to work. Okay. Base rush has been taken care of. Now, both of those ships overmatch me everywhere. Yay! And my only way of finding them is going to be with my face, so... Okay, let's turn my attention to the little French fry over here. I missed. That's gonna miss. Or not. Really? Okay, I'm just gonna fire off the heal. Don't know if I can actually gain full benefit from it or not, but I'm firing it off anyway. Just gonna shotgun the heal. Because I'll probably, hopefully, get the funny button charged up again. Ow. Just love that. I mean, admittedly, I'm not quite angled properly, but that's because I'm trying to get my guns firing. Hey, I landed a torpedo. Go gadget secondaries. Ah, my main guns got there first. Firing that off. Okay. Shotgunning another heal. Well, I might get use out of a third heal. Fourth one ain't gonna do anything for me at this point. I've taken too much unhealable damage. Because that's another thing, and it's one of the things that makes the super heal on Salem bad. Is it does not heal enough damage back. There's too much of the damage you take that's just unhealable. That by the time you've used a heal or two, your super heal may as well be a standard heal. Only now it's a standard heal with a shorter duration. And in the case of this thing, also a longer cooldown. I think Salem's is at least a standard cooldown duration, but Salem is also just a Des Moines with a super heal, and the downside there being you have to choose between Hydro or Radar. You can't have both. Which means you, in general, take Radar, though I could really see an argument for taking the Hydro on Salem, just because that Radar is so hot garbage. Well, such hot garbage. May as well shotgun the funny button. Get back to my Hydro. It won't really matter, I suppose. It's just an Ismail left. But... Yay. That should be all the XP I need. Even if it's not, it's all the XP I need. I'll just free XP anything I don't have. I now just need silver. And top of the team doesn't mean it's a good ship. Let's just rip all of these off before I play it again and waste a booster. Yeah, I got enough XP. Alright, let's make some silver. Because I for sure need it. Because 9 mil is enough to buy the ship, it's just not enough to buy the ship and equipment. So... I might have some things I can sell. No. Because I don't want to sell those torpedoes off of Shima. I might sell the noob tubes, but... even then, like, I occasionally might want them. Depends on what I'm doing, honestly. Like, if I was taking a Shima into asymmetrics, I'd want the noob tubes, honestly, I think. Taking a Shima into operations, I think I'd want the noob tubes, just for the range. Because the bots aren't really going to maneuver. Taking it into randoms... I'm probably going to want the 12s or 8s. Okay. Hard right. General's quarters. He needs them for the arcade.
Awaiting instructions.
That is a lot of destroyers. I think I'll keep the HE loaded for now. Okay, the NC is following me. That Karl Johan is about to absolutely crush that flank. It's almost impossible for a Johan to not crush a flank, if whoever's playing it knows what they're doing at least. Now, if they don't know what they're doing, then it's very possible for them to not crush the flank and just die immediately. But that's more just because there's a bunch of destroyers, more than anything. 50-50, it's a Grom, basically. Or 50% chance there'll be a Grom over there. 50% it'll be something not a Grom. Grom. Just the webcam a bit. I don't know if that was actually a good adjustment. I can't actually see myself. It just feels like that was a good adjustment. Well, I'm detected.
Enemy force sighted on the horizon.
There's Zara. Grom.
Enemy severely damaged.
Okay, is there anything over there I can bounce? King George's. I can bounce those. I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can bounce a King George. Just as my guns get turned. I was really not expecting them to turn like that. More turn their attention to me like that. And it's a Caracciolo. I can't bounce that. I might die here.
Torpedoes to starboard. Torpedoes dead ahead. Ship is on fire.
Because those guys are still aiming at me.
Problem solved, sir.
Don't know exactly why, but it's what they're doing. Somehow that Zara is also still alive. Yep. Guys, how is that thing still alive? How? Sub, you pointing the wrong end of your ship at him. You missed. Good job. Well, that was a wasted blue booster. I'm pretty sure the how is that was probably a free gift NC, and that person probably doesn't know what they're doing. The bots were also shooting at me when there was things closer to them that they could have shot at. They weren't exactly following what they should do. Also, can standard battles screw off? I hate standard battle in this mode. You can't take up smart positions in a cruiser in a standard battle. And I can't rely on my teammates to do their jobs. I suppose at least with this map there is a island I can move up to that I can kind of cover the middle with. It wouldn't be so bad if they would just always spawn a battleship in the center instead of, you know, if you want to go that way, Iowa, be my guest. Tempted to ping that sign. Because, like, you can't leave the base undefended. You need to defend the base. None of the battleships are turning towards the base. Meaning it's going to be up to me and the Zhao to make sure we don't lose this. Like, I don't know how after a month of asymmetrics that people don't know how to play by now, but like, you would think they would know. Cruisers seem to both know. What I'm gonna do here is basically park up against this side of the island.
Enemy force detected.
That way I can reverse and help with the cap if needed, but I can also pay attention to things over here.
Target penetrated.
Oh, there's a good little chunk of... Is that a secondary Iowa? That feels like too far away for normal secondary range, but it might be. I've seen weirder, so like... I mean, honestly, I run a secondary build on my Wisconsin, because why not? It's not like Slot 3 matters to American battleships, so... You're not really punished for it. Not the way every other ship is. Cherbourg. I like that ship. A lot of people don't, but I like it. Are we sure these aren't players? Sure, plenty of people have seen this exact situation many times. And have probably been the Veneto many times. Ow. Man, cruiser armor really needs a re-looking at. Like, I am perfectly angled here. I should not be taking chunks of damage into my upper belt and belt armor. I just shouldn't be. You almost can't get a better angle. And yet, I'm still going to be taking big chunks because 380s just ignore my armor. But no, aircraft carriers are the problem. Because somehow an aircraft carrier getting nerfed will solve this situation. And like, if that Veneto, if the bot Venetos would load sap, that thing could absolutely annihilate me right here, because his sap overmatches me. Because sap follows overmatch rules. But it's aircraft carriers that need nerfed. Jeez, I am ranty tonight. I suppose in this case I really enjoy just pointing out how dumb all of the carrier hate is. When there are much bigger problems for this game. But the thing is, most of the people who really want aircraft carriers to be nerfed are battleship mains. Like, they obviously aren't going to want the gimmick that lets them just absolutely slap anybody they want. They're not going to want that mechanic changed. To them, that's just good, honest gaming. You know, get good scrub, just dodge. But hello, Chastad. It's going pretty all right. I am making fun of people who want carriers nerfed, but that's a normal for me when playing this game. Yeah, it's a good chunk of silver. And that was a good chunk of silver still, but it could have been a lot more if that team had known what they were doing. At 10 mil, if I sell Bolognese's equipment, I can probably equip the tier 8. Of the ships that matter for this series, Renown's buffs are great. Renown is now definitively better than Repulse, which really makes you question why Repulse is even a thing anymore. Given Renown has torpedoes, Repulse doesn't. Renown is 3 seconds faster reload on the same guns. Same turret traverse, same range. I think it might actually be better range on Renown now. Bolognese's buff doesn't matter. As far as the other buffs I've gotten to play around with, Zhao doesn't feel any different. Like, your game plan is still the same. You are still just kiting away. You do have slightly better turret angles, but the long reload, you're not really noticing it. Because you're going to be wiggling around anyway while kiting. And your torpedo angles are mostly only improved in reverse. So a lot of people's complaints with Zhao haven't been fixed. Will probably never be fixed. Because that's not Zhao's playstyle, what people want. So if you liked Zhao, you're still going to like Zhao. You will see the improvement, it's just you're probably not going to notice it. Belfast 43, you will feel that buff. Bell 43, you're definitely going to feel it. I've yet to try Jinan, but that fire chance increase could be nice. The extra damage, I'll take it. I've yet to play around with Champagne's reload booster, but that's going to be ludicrous. Trying to think through the other major buffs. There's a lot of ships that still need buffed, that's for sure. Do I still have that browser tab open? I don't, but I can get it back really quick. So no sound for a quick moment, but that's the submarine one. There we go. Let's see, what else was a big change? The Marco Polo reload buff could be nice. That might actually make Marco Polo considerable. Because, like, as it stands, as it stood, Marco Polo was kind of bad. It had a gimmick, but that gimmick got usurped, of that being having 406mm sap, meaning 27mm of overmatch sap. But it had a, what was it, like 36-second reload? Hello, Azula. Azula Ozai. Blah. So, like, Marco Polo's buff could be nice. I don't know if it's enough to justify me picking it up, because you are still comparing it against a ship with more gun in Lepanto. But it does have a considerably faster reload now compared to Lepanto, so, you know. Heisen's reload buff is nice. Republic going to 2.1 Sigma, it'll matter, but I can't see it being a big change. Dmitry Donskoy getting 5 seconds longer on its radar could be nice. I'm now trying to remember what... I should just come straight to Nevsky. Okay, 30 seconds. Okay. Nevsky's not that much better than Donskoy now. You're gonna have a slight DPM increase. Bit more range. Actually, is it a bit more range? 17, 8, 19. Yeah, a bit more range. But you have the same radar now. That's gonna make justifying buying Nevsky a lot harder. Because you're losing a lot of Alpha Strike for not much of a DPM increase. The super ship changes are nice to see. You know, these now actually having to hit their target instead of just land a shell within their vicinity. That's nice. That is nice to see. Let's see. I'm gonna need 2, 3, 4 mil over 9. So 13 mil total. No, selling these wouldn't get me enough. I could demount them and that would get me almost enough, but that feels like a waste. I'll just grind out some more silver. Let's get that back up. Yeah, same, really, but in some cases, the reason I didn't play the ship was just it wasn't very good, like Belfast 43. I've had her for a while now and just never played her because I have Cleveland too, and Cleveland is still better. She's getting there, but she still needs another second knocked off of her reload before she matches Tier 7 Belfast in just the main guns. Dmitry Pozharsky is actually a ship I'd looked at on here, and then actually picked up on my main, and that damage boost will actually probably be pretty nice on it, because that's per salvo an extra 3,600 damage. So it's not bad. The split buff is going to be nice. Same with the Lambros Canzones. That's mostly going to be for this account because I'm going down that line. So these two ships being better is going to be nice. I still find it funny. Which one of these is it? Oh yeah, it's Split. That's a 1958 ship that technically was built a lot earlier, but was refit much later on. And then you follow that up with a 1929 design, and then a 1939 design. This tree is just funny when you pay attention to the dates. Yeah, let's make some silver in a ship that should be kind of fun. I shouldn't really be wasting my blue boosters like this, but this will be fun, so is it really a waste if I'm having fun using the booster? And like Heisen, I really liked the ship, but I didn't play it very much because of that 38-second base reload on not all that great of guns. Like, honestly, they could knock another 4 seconds off of Heisen and she would still just be okay. I don't think she's good yet, but I can understand them not wanting to go from 38 to 30. You know, that would be admitting that they released a really bad ship. I say that, though. Heisen sometimes plays nice and does really well. And sometimes she does not play nice, and it doesn't go very well. Now, I want to push down to this little island, because that gives me a lot of cover from the stuff in the middle, while letting me take on the stuff at the side. Turned a bit far. I really like Lugdunum here. It's a nice ship. And I'm fully aware I'm probably mispronouncing that. I am pronouncing the letters that are there. If you did not want me to pronounce the letters, why are they there? Don't make me get my knife. Maybe I'll make you stand in a kawewe. For those who don't know what word I'm referencing there, queue. Like to stand in a queue or line up in a queue. It's spelt kawewe. English is just as messed up as every other language, but... And I'm sure there are foreigners who look at English and go, the crap is this? How do you say this? Very carefully, that's how. Okay, New Mexico knows what it's doing. Dunkirk knows what it's doing. Nuremberg and Alba do not know what they're doing. Good. Love to see it. Okay. Go, go, gadgets, secondaries. I'm about to have some torpedo soup at me. Just hope I caught that in time. Get the turn in. I'm gonna wait for all of my guns before I shoot at the Omaha. I should also focus my secondaries on him. Okay, I'm gonna eat a pasta torp, but that's fine. I will fix that flood, because I want my maneuverability. Okay, I don't need to worry about the other destroyer. Okay. Let's push forward a bit. Kuma. I kind of want my high explosive loaded for that, not gonna lie. Some nice hit. Another nice hit. I love shooting at broadside Russian ships. They just kind of explode. It's great. feel like one of my secondaries is broken.
Torpedoes!
Yep.
How do you call barboard in English?
I love this ship. Don't like how those quad turrets get broken so easily. I've lost so much of my secondary firepower off of that side. Which is not exactly a good feeling. Especially where that's where most of the enemy ships are left, is off to my left. I'll be able to pepper down the Iron Duke, though. So I still have all those secondaries. Okay, Gun Gut's gonna go down. I should have waited to change what way the secondaries were firing, but say it's fine. I'll get the dispersion back in no time. Penguin. Bonk.
We seem to be gaining on them.
I'm just gonna let my secondaries take care of the Iron Duke. At least that one. Mostly because these turrets take forever to turn, so I may as well just keep them on target of the things I don't have all my secondaries firing at. Plus, like, I'm sure the Dunkirk is appreciating getting to shoot stuff. It's wild to me how people will see the British battleships in here, firing AP, dealing good damage, and still go, but I want to shoot my high explosive. It's like, guys. Yeah, I've lost one on both sides now. I think it's the same one on both sides. Yep. Yeah, you got that, Dunkirk. I'm gonna trust you got that. Which is also very much the annoying thing about this ship, of losing that front quad. That one has a better firing angle than the rear quad. I should actually get turned a bit here. I think I'm getting pretty much full value out of this heal. May as well just fire it off. I'll give the Dunkirk some help. Try and get some both sides action going on. Where'd our little buddy in the New Mexico go? Oh, I think he died, like, right there, based on where everything is. I think he just kept pushing. You know, proud of him. He found his W key and couldn't find the S key, but that's fine. That's better than most players. Who can just never find their W key. Dunkirk, I have no idea what you're doing there, my guy. There we go. Gods, I wish this was just how Leon was. It'd be so nice if this was just Leon. But it's not. Hey, I'll get the coal. Let's pop all these open. I do need some coffee really quick. So I will be going and grabbing that. Watch, just like it seems like always with this series, these streams, the moment I step away is the moment a bot shows up. Just seems to happen. But yeah, I'll be back in a moment or two. Now your turn. Yeah, I should really go back to making silver on a ship that makes silver. Just makes more sense. Really wish the EU server had players this time of day. So I could play randoms and make more silver. Like, I mean, I could in theory still play randoms, but they're going to be really small randoms, and I may not actually make more silver. So... And I will say, because I do have a bit of a headache, this stream will probably end at the hour, so about 50 minutes from now. Unless the headache clears up, in which case I'll keep going, but... I basically slept too long. Okay, where am I gonna go? I feel like heading kind of this way is probably better. Ideally, I'd love to see that Awami or the Prussian turn in towards the cap. Because then I would know I could take a easily more wide position, like over there. But I think I'm going to try and take up a position down here just so that I'm in the cap. And hopefully I don't just get torpedo rushed by something. Because Allende and Mogami, I believe, both have torpedoes. Rude. I'll put the fire out.
Problem solved, sir.
It was more or less on me to not move, not maneuver to try to avoid that. Okay, the Awami is turning in this way. So that's nice to see. Took him a bit long, so I'm kind of already committed to being down here, but... Well, that's spooky. Okay. Like, Vladivostok is not a ship I really want to be dealing with.
Ship is on fire.
I just hope I'm in a position where that bot doesn't think it can shoot me. Okay, knocked out some of his torpedoes somewhere. Pretty sure I don't, but... Do I? Do I overmatch him? Kind of stupid if I do, but... Boo. Those poor squirrels. But I had to try. Okay, I need to not leave my safety island. Not until that hawk is dealt with. 5k and a fire. That should be pretty nice. If the Vlad pushes up more or turns that direction, I can swap to the AP and probably really paddle it. The Wisconsin's doing what Wisconsin's do, that being not understand they have a W key. He is in fact reversing. Okay, Russian damage control lasts 15 seconds, I think. Or is it 5? Yeah, I think it's already over. Yep. Okay, it might only be 5 or 10. Really fast cooldown, though. I would love to reverse a bit. Just to ensure I can get shots over, but... Dual fire on the Vlad. That Salem is not having a great time over there. Game told me my shots would get over, and they did not. Okay. Love that for me. Let's keep trying to burn this Vlad down. Okay, I can probably reverse a bit. The Hawk is retreating. Keep working over the Vlad. Ow. Oh, that's scary. When a ship isn't aiming at you and then suddenly is. Ow. But don't you know, without overmatch, the Vlad would be at such a disadvantage here. That's why we need overmatch, don't you know? Nothing like getting citadeled while being perfectly angled. And there's really nothing I can do about it. I need either the Hawk or the Vlad dead, one or the other. Neither is dying. That's another fire. He's 8, like, I think 7 of those 8 fires I've lit. And he's still alive. Well, there's another Citadel. Or at least a lot of chunk damage. Come on, kill the Hawk.
Our team has taken the lead.
Nah, I think I'm dead here. See if I can finish off the Kansas. Let's get my AP. Probably about to eat some torpedoes. Non-pens the Kansas somehow. Must have hit a turret. Safety Island for the win. Overmatch for the I'm dead. Oh no, not quite. Thankfully, that is a Kansas.
Destroyed an enemy battleship.
Jesus. Again, the game telling me one thing, and then something else entirely happening. Now, almost got the kill on that Vlad. Just the amount of damage you can take while properly angled is disgusting. Also, in case anyone's wondering, no, that is not to scale. These ships are big, but they're not that big. They're not like a city street big, you know. And like, I would be open to reworks of Overmatch that just simply make use of the internal HP values. Like, we know things on parts of the ship can get damage saturated. So how about just simply shells Overmatch when a piece of armor has become damage saturated? And otherwise can still deal damage, but deal overpen damage. How about that? That way, you know, your Yamato can still deal damage to anything it points its guns at as long as it's hitting the bows. But it's only going to deal overpen damage until it's dealt like the 3,000 to 6,000 damage needed to damage saturate the bow. With that, I would also like to see the HP in the bow and stern increased a little bit. Not much, but a little bit. Enough to maybe handle 2 salvos from an average battleship of its tier. Not going for cruisers and battleships. Battleships, I'd give them 3 salvos. Like, that to me would be more fair than the system we have now, where, like, this armor may as well not be here. If the target has basically 380mm guns or larger, this whole section of armor is pointless. If they have 406s, this whole section of armor is pointless, including this one. Meaning, effectively, like, that is my armor. You know. And that's not a lot of armor. There is technically some spaced armor in here because of the torpedo protection, but it's not enough when it's being overmatched. And like, I simply do not buy the argument that if overmatch wasn't a thing, that battleships would be helpless against cruisers. I don't buy it. Because there'd still be things you can shoot with your AP to deal damage, even without overmatch. You just have to start shooting cruisers the same spots you shoot an angled battleship. Like, battleships can still hurt each other just fine when angled. You know, and cruisers are even easier to knock out turrets on. Like, if that cruiser's aiming at you, that's a flat, nearly flat piece of 305mm armor. Let's break its guns. Suddenly it can't shoot you anymore. Like... There we go. Another 800k. Yeah, I feel like selling the upgrades on Bolognese here will get me where I need to be. So let's do that. I'm never playing this thing again. Which you might be wondering, okay, then why not just sell the ship? It works for snowflake events. There we go. Allende. If these had Wooster reload, I wouldn't mind. This would probably be a pretty decent ship with Wooster reload. That isn't Wooster reload, though. It's not even Vallejo reload. And Vallejo is not good. Okay. This is a necessity. I can probably go without prop mod for now, because I'm noticing I don't have the silver I need. This is a necessity. I do not want a gun breaking. I have a free one of these, so. Speed, faster cooldown, give me more healing. Sure, more duration on the hydro. All the health I can get. AA, I guess. Nothing else matters. I am almost tempted just to take the spotter, if I'm honest. Because, like... that's with best possible concealment. This is such a bad radar. It's not even a long duration radar either. That's the sad part, because, like, that's increased duration. This is a 25-second radar. Which I believe, I suppose, is a bit longer than Cleveland's. I think. No, Cleveland starts 27. So Cleveland would be at like 31. Cleveland also can get down to like basically 9-kilometer detect. So if it's detected, it can basically use its radar to see whatever's detecting it. Allende cannot. This is gonna be painful. I don't want to do this. I don't want to... When you consider this thing has better guns, nearly the same AP damage as well. Keep that in mind. This is a 5.7 second reload. Has high explosive that pens 32. 10 guns as opposed to 8. Vastly better AA. These. I mean, yeah, the armor is crap. Like, these are going to die to anything looking at them. Like, 16 mil is nothing. That's worse than British light cruiser armor. But, to be fair, it's not like this armor matters either, and you still have a raised, exposed citadel. This is gonna be so painful, but let's go. I already hate it. I do really question, and I might, like, as much as I know it'll just get ignored, I might actually do, like, a balance change suggestion for, like, Allende at least. Probably Allende and the tier 9 as well. Because, like, at this point, given the damage increase on Cochrane, there is no reason to play the higher tiers until tier 10. Like, the tier 7 is kind of the best in the line until the tier 10. The tier 8 and 9 are just weaker. I suppose the tier 9 does have the bonus of slot 6, so you might be able to get a slightly, get slightly better DPM out of it than the tier 7, but it will not be by much. Are those at least like 360s? Well, the rear one is. Ugh. Ugh. Well, I may as well get that turned on. That turned on.
Awaiting instructions.
I mean, it's a good fast turret traverse, but it doesn't really matter. I will say, the people who are freaking out over the new Dutch light cruisers, they're not going to be anywhere near as scary as players are making them look in testing. Like, they have paper for armor. They have exposed citadels for the most part. Their guns, while better than the Pan Americans, that's not exactly a high bar. You know, like... It's, I would not be too worried. These are still 8s, right? Yeah, I was just looking at those. Okay, so that's the 8. 10, 9, 8, 7. I swear, they gave it a 10-kilometer detect just because of that, didn't they? But no, if they were doing that, then it would have a 6-kilometer hydro, and this would actually be a really nice hydro. Let's just chuck some torpedoes that way. They're slow enough. Champagne, why are you... Please tell me that was not you actually firing high explosive out of some of the best guns in the game. Oh, I can feel the reload. Ugh. Given the slower reload, you really cannot mess up with firing this thing. And this mess up isn't of my own creation. This was just simply... the enemy died. And... yeah, okay, I nicked him with a shell. Yay, funny button charged. Oh, that ain't good. I would like to stop going forward. That would be great. Don't know what I just spotted. Ow. Baron, you're way over there. Was that the Baron? That might have been the Fuso that's down there. No. What? What just shot me? Never was that hurt. I'm gonna shotgun the funny button once my heal's off cooldown. Means I'll get back to the radar. This is the moment I can actually get some use out of it, but that's because the bots are pushing forward. Having to spot for myself is not fun. Oh boy, I'm spotted by aircraft. Well, it does feel like these guns do have some extra pen to them. It's got that going for it, at least, I guess. Because I'm actually able to pen the New Mexico. Screw it. I need to... I can't just sit behind the island with no spotting. I am going to die doing this, but... I can kind of bounce the New Mexico. And I think I can bounce the Andrea as well. Just from having tier 8 armor, I can actually kind of bounce some things now. The keyword there being kinda. There's definitely still parts of my ship that are probably very vulnerable, but... That is the beauty of being tier 8, though, is I can bounce a lot of tier 6s now. You know, things that you only see very rarely. A lot of tier 7s still overmatch me everywhere. Basically every tier 8 overmatches me everywhere. But tier 6s? Oh, you better watch out. Like... Yeah, I can feel the armor, which is nice. Oh, it's turning the other way now. Boo. Just need to actually, like, stay angled. Still feeling the lack of high explosive, though. It's like, I basically cannot hurt this Andrea. Just took a big hit from one of them. I think it was the Fuso. Yeah, I didn't stay quite perfectly angled. I put how many shells into that Andrea? Like, and not even into, like, a bad part of the ship to be shooting at. It has shelves at the back. Like, more of my shells really should have been biting into something, but they just kind of weren't. Huga, I get it's angled, but why are you doing that? You're just trying to make me sad, aren't you? But 120,000 damage. Bad ship. Well, that's not how that works. The day someone figures out how to invite me to a clan properly, it'll be a day. You know what? Let's try a random. Well, it got a battle immediately, so either somebody's been waiting for a really long time, or there's actually a fair few people playing randoms at tier 8. Okay, so a lot of people playing around in the tier 8 matchmaker. If I play too many games, though, I will be completely kind of screwed because I think it's, if I remember right, it's 6 of 16 games can be top tier or, you know, double up tiers, with you being the bottom tier. Okay. I don't really want to, but I can't really take up the central position. You know, the rather funny thing, seeing Nakamov here just kind of reminded me. There's a lot of people who cry the Russian carrier is so overpowered because it deals a lot of damage. And Nakamov is number 1 for damage among Tier 10 aircraft carriers. It is at the exact bottom for win rate. Deals damage. Oh, it deals damage. It doesn't win games, though.
Enemy force detected.
I don't know why I'm coming over here. I really should have went to the other flank. There's really no good islands over here. I'm going to just get dev struck. In general, because damage isn't everything. What tends to win games is spotting. So basically, spotting the enemy ships so that your other teammates can deal damage to them. Well, Nakamov and Russian carriers in general, when they attack with their air squadron, use the entire squadron. So after they've done their attack run, they can no longer continue to spot for their team like every other carrier can. So basically, they don't have a high win rate because they're not spotting for their team. The Russian carriers are very selfish carriers. It's also why destroyers tend to have the highest win rates of any class of ship. That is the primary job of destroyers, is to spot things. Yeet. This game is definitely very interesting when it comes to, like, how you win games. Because it does kind of fly in the face of how most games work, because, like, the ships with the lowest average damage matter the most for winning the game. Like, destroyers have the lowest average damage, yet are the most important. Carriers tend to have the second highest win rate because they basically can supplement spotting. Cruisers and battleships tend to have about the same win rate because their jobs are basically the same. They deal damage to the things that are spotted. Submarines have the lowest win rate, because while they can spot, they're not terribly good at it, and they also don't deal a huge amount of damage either, or bring much utility to their team, and in general, they're just kind of bad. Poor submarines. People wanted them for so long, and then they just turned out really bad. Submarines are frustrating to deal with, though. Like, they're bad, but annoying. I should radar. I want to know where that Ulysses is. Okay. As long as he doesn't hit exactly my bow, I can bounce him. And his armor is thin enough that, Ow. Yeah, he's kind of hitting my bow. I can actually deal some decent enough damage to him. Ah, there's submarines nearby. I'm just gonna shotgun this heal. I need to make sure I don't lose too much health here. So I'm kind of on my own here. What are the torpedo angles like? How about there's more important things to shoot at, guys? Ow. Thing is, I would try to rush the Ulysses here, but that not Constellation, the Montana would just wreck me if I did. Yeah, I think I'm just dead here. May as well radar. I might spot something near me. Ow. Yes, keep turning. I didn't actually launch... you stopped turning. Damn it. I'm not going to get back to my heal in time. Yep. That's a bummer. Yeah, it would have been great if you guys could have helped sooner. That sucked. Almost 2 million potential damage, but... Yeah, submarines are just frustrating. In real life, they were a real threat to everything, because they were really hard to detect. Torpedoes are very devastating to most ships. Like, but the thing is, in real life, they would never be part of a big naval engagement. They would be, you know, finding that lone ship or a convoy with very little escort and attacking that. They don't really work well in the context of a naval engagement like in-game, and they're very annoying because of things Wargaming did with them. Namely, these torpedoes are acoustically guided. So basically what that means is you ping the enemy ship, and your torpedoes are going to guide towards them. It's not so much acoustic guiding as it's just guiding, but they call them acoustically guided. Acoustically guided would mean if your ship stopped moving, they wouldn't be able to impact you because you stopped moving. You're not making noise anymore, at least not as much noise as just the water is making. But, yeah, that's kind of what makes them frustrating, and their concealment, while not amazing, is still enough to be really annoying. Plus, they can just dive and avoid all damage, but they don't really deal much damage either, and it's just... they're very annoying. A lot of players would probably tell you that they're overpowered. No. No. They're annoying, but they're not overpowered. They're underpowered, if anything, which plays into their annoyance. If a submarine just killed you, it probably wouldn't be as annoying. Because at least then you're dead. You're not being constantly harassed by ping after ping after ping, having to dodge torpedoes for minutes at a time before you ultimately die. Or kill the submarine. I want to give Allende here another battle. It is definitely feeling worse than Cochrane, which is not a good thing. You kind of want to feel like you've upgraded when going from a ship to another one. A lot of new lines, you really don't feel that way, though. Like, even the Japanese light cruisers, and I was ready for this with them. The Tier 7 Japanese light cruiser is kind of the best one in the line until the Tier 10. But at the very least, the Tier 8 and 9 are better than the Tier 7 in some ways. They have better torpedoes, or better concealment, or, higher alpha strike. This just feels worse in every way other than it has a radar to the Tier 7. It's not what you want. Honestly, this thing should probably have like a 6-second reload. Especially where you're going down a barrel. Like 6.5 maybe? It's a lot of destroyers. I'm going to try to make it to the right. That cluster of islands is just kind of better for me. Plus, there are 2 destroyers over there. And I really don't want to deal with a submarine. I feel bad for the enemy team because Alliance is the most frustrating sub to deal with. Because you're not evading those torpedoes. They will hit you. And they don't deal much damage, so they'll be hitting you. Again, and again, and again, and again, and again. Oh, hey, it's an enemy, Nakamov. He could put some serious hurt on me while I'm trying to move to a flank, and he probably will. Because he's really got no reason not to. Richthofen, please don't just throw away your rocket planes. Thank you. It looked like he was gonna just keep flying forward. Okay, I might make it to these islands, because he's actually coming over to those islands. Neat. Oh, no, he's coming this way now. Angle in, slow down. Eat a bunch of damage. That's a Montana shooting at me, so I can't turn back to where I need to go yet. Come on, shells. Hurry up. Ugh. I would love to be able to get to some island cover, but the game decided to spawn me in the middle of the water. He's E44. If he comes back, can I have smoke, please? No. No, I can't. Really, little buddy? Well, at least he missed. See, this is something people don't like about aircraft carriers, and honestly, right now it would not be so bad if the Richthofen would stop trying to put fighters in the path of the enemy carrier and instead use his fighters to assist his team like he really should be doing. It also wouldn't be so bad if there just wasn't so much open water on this map. Because I'd already be basically over here and able to start taking part in this battle if, you know, I wouldn't have had to have stopped for the Montana salvo. Like, team play counters carriers. Which is one of the things people don't like about carriers, is you're encouraged to play as a team, and no one wants to do that. That's what nerds do. Well, our Mecklenburg's dead. I don't know if I have the gun range for this. Because ideally, I'd love to stay here. Can I lock the daring, please? I didn't lead the daring enough, but... Yeah, this is a problem. The Zao is really the only thing left here I might be able to get to shoot at. Well, let's hydro up. Yeah, too much turn. This is dumb, but I've got to do something.
Torpedoes, direct front. Torpedoes, dead ahead.
Yeah, here comes the Nakamov. The Noostershimi has at least already used his torpedoes, and they have a pretty long cooldown. Problem is, he's able to Citadel me, but he doesn't have a Citadel. Which is just totally fair. These ships are so bad. Well, he might still die here at least, maybe. It's so totally fair that he's able to Citadel me, but because he's a destroyer, he just doesn't have a Citadel. And I only have armor piercing. I might flesh wound him. Yay! Suck it! I don't know what this alliance is doing. I just know he's doing it wrong. Because that Montana is still alive and at full health. Look at these little snails. You would think these being slow would be a bad thing. You would think. The slower a homing torpedo is, the better it tracks.
All stations, concentrate fire on the target.
Poor Montana. There we go. There's some damage. And more. See, this is why people hate submarines. Because, like, you're just being nickel and dimes to death. And there's nothing you can do about it. Like, the Monty's trying. It's not doing him a whole lot of good, but he's trying. He's now lost half of his over half his health to something he can't see or do anything about, but he knows is there. He knows it's here. Oh, he might actually land a depth charge here. Might get a splash. Yep, he got a splash. I think Alliance has a heal. No, Alliance doesn't have a heal. How is he healing? Where is he healing? Oh no, wait. Yeah, the healing buff. I was like, how is he healing? Healing buff. Arms race. In this case, these torpedoes are probably going to smash into that island. So, you know, it's got that going for him. Like, I've not even really played submarines, but I know this is why they're so frustrating to deal with. Oh, no. Because the torpedoes are so slow, they're going to get around the island. Like, just look at this. This is what someone at Wargaming thinks is fair. Like... Now, the Montana is in probably the best position for avoiding these torpedoes. Hiding away from a submarine is the best way to avoid the torpedoes, because they do stop tracking at a set distance. They do stop tracking. But you need to still be varying your course and speed to evade those torpedoes when they have stopped tracking. Ooh, our Shima just got torpedoed to death by a Zao. That's not very good. Our Alvaro de Bazan got knocked out by their Jaeger. We may actually lose here because our alliance is probably going to go down. I think the note about Arms Race is this cap circle in the middle. If a team can capture it, they basically win. But it's constantly shrinking. Like, let me see if I can find a piece that's right by an island. So, like, you can see the buoys just getting closer and closer to the island. That cap circle is constantly shrinking. Fletcher, why are you trying to go after the aircraft carrier? It's really not what you need to be doing. You need to be getting into the cap with the Nevsky. Nevsky's probably dead. Because submarines! Such a fun addition to the game. Yeah, this one's a loss. I was hoping to not end things on a loss. I did get to show why submarines are frustrating, though. Thanks to that submarine there. Hey, more battleship tokens. I forgot about those missions. What did I need to be doing? I think I'm into the next set now. Yeah. Which means I probably missed doing a set with my, my main account. I don't really care, though, so. I need 2 Citadel hit ribbons. But yeah, I have been going for about 3 hours. I am feeling like it's a good enough time to end things off, assuming I don't get a massive influx of viewers. But, while I'm going over all my end card bit, these are the buttons I need. So I do want to thank you all for coming out and watching, and if you do like my content, this kind of chill, rambly style of content, I do daily uploads on my YouTube channel. If you're watching on YouTube, hey, you're already here. If you're watching on Twitch, there is a button in the info, wherever that is on mobile, I don't know. On desktop, you just scroll down. You just click or tap where it says YouTube, and it takes you right to my YouTube channel. I do daily uploads of Animal Crossing New Horizons. I also do on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, a series on Katamari Damacy currently. That series will be changing up as I finish games. I stream every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, so If you enjoyed this stream and want to see more streams, I'll see you back here on Saturday. And with all that said, thank you all for watching, and hopefully I'll see you back here in the next thing I do. See you then.